cameras off. Good morning, everyone. So like Emma said, I am a solutions consultant with Invicara, and I'm here today to talk about digital twins, which seems to be the theme of the morning. So hopefully I can fill you in on how the Invicara digital twin fulfills what Jonathan just discussed with us. So I'm talking specifically about two birds with one stone, how Handover can be streamlined to create a digital twin for operations. So what is a digital twin? Well, I'm specifically talking about the Invicara digital twin, which we use to optimize building performance. We want to create an information-rich building model. We want to integrate that with the building management systems. Like Jonathan just said, it's tying into the existing systems that our clients use. And we want to support the development of custom solutions, which I'll talk about a little bit more later on. It's not a product, it's a platform that we can customize, and it will evolve to suit the individual customer's needs. So why do you need a digital twin? So at the minute, it's gotten a lot better with the introduction of BIM and standards, but there's still a little bit of a disjointed process in the design, construction and commissioning phase. So what we're trying to do is to capture that information together to make sure that it's all captured at each stage. And something that Alan Hoare said yesterday evening that was particularly on my mind was sustainability, and you see it there. We're talking about measuring within the digital twin. So even at design stage, we're talking about a design digital twin that we can measure and chart what's the embodied carbon of the project, what carbon is going to be used to build this project, and is there any circularity? Can we reuse these products again at the end of the life cycle of this building? I'll go into this a little bit more detail, but collecting construction data without overwriting the design data. We see the value in the design process and the information that's created at the design stage, and that we don't want to just take in a new model and replace that data. We want to ensure that data is captured and maintained. And then at commissioning, complete and efficient handover, and then assessing the as designed versus the as built. And then on top of the digital twin, we can put various platforms for maintenance, streamlining, leasing, and trying to put a single source for all of the project information. So this is a maturity level strategy that we've developed. So this is kind of how we approach the digital twin. So our first port of call is to develop the digital twin strategy. So we develop this with the client to ensure what it is they want out of their digital twin. Do they want to link it to their BMS system? Do they want to use IoT to collect data? So we also define at what stage they want. It's not just about the operations of the building, it can be about at the design stage. Do they want to know how many tons of concrete, or what do they want to monitor? What's important to this particular client? Again, with construction and commissioning. So then we have the project twin. So this is when this actually becomes reality. So we're monitoring the design models for those levels. We're monitoring the classification, we're monitoring the data. Is the data there as we've requested? And then we have the asset twin. So this is when we start to get everything coming together to create the beginning of our asset information model. We're pulling in graphics, data, documents. So things are coming, it's not all in our BIM authoring tool. This is all coming from different sources in the project. So our performance twin. So how are we expecting this building to perform, and is it going to perform? So this is where we use IoT, sensors, etc. We pull that in to to the performance twin, which I think Jonathan mentioned, and we didn't collude on our slides, so it's just. And then a platform for continuous improvement. So a lot of our clients have a number of buildings, and they want to measure, how are these buildings performing? What did I do right in one building? That could be what lessons learned to take from Paddy's presentation this morning. What lessons learned can I take from this project that I can apply on the next one, so that I can get better value, or I'm not replacing the same asset every year or every number of years. So like I said, we can build various things on top of the platform. So whether it's capturing maintenance information, so building in your maintenance forms that your maintenance contractors will fill in anyway, but making sure that that gets pulled into your system so we can dashboard it and track and measure and see red flags like there's something wrong with this piece of equipment. Space management, when it comes to letting your spaces, are my buildings being designed efficiently for the way I'm letting them? Internet of Things, so making sure that we've got the right information for that particular project being pulled in. And inspection data, like I said, that's tied to the maintenance. And then the business value of that, so what value are we delivering to our clients? So at the design, it's all about, as I said previously, optimization and sustainability. We want to make sure our clients are getting what they want, and if we can measure that within the digital twin platform at design stage, that can add value. At the construction stage, improved procurement. So by scheduling and by using classification, we can tie that into the quantity surveying tools, into project planning tools, so to allow those efficiencies to be gained in the project. And then operations, we're streamlining our transactions, creating efficient maintenance and operations, and we're able to create bespoke solutions for our clients. So why Invicara? So we provide end-to-end. So we generally start with our clients at the very beginning of a project. We sit down with them, we track what is it that you want, what's important to you. So it's all about the client at that very, very initial stage. We try to get involved as early as possible. And we're learning this. We have one of our clients is in the room who we're on our second project with at the minute, but we've learned from those first projects to what it is that we need to do to capture better in the next project. So we consult with our clients. We then have the technology behind us to try and deliver on that. So whether it's BIM classified to classify models, BIM assured to validate that information is correct. Sorry, excuse me, I'm going to grab a glass of water. Screen, sorry. Where did I go? That's what that actually we don't. Sorry. Apologies, I should have had that prepared. Yes, so consulting with our clients. The technology that we're building on is flexible, so it's something that's been developed within our system. We have quite a large group across more countries than I care to count. Our team is very widely spread, and because of that, we're pulling in that information and that knowledge from different perspectives, and that's really important to what we're doing. And skilled information managers, so not just myself, we have a very, very skilled team with many years information management, not all from a BIM background like myself, but information management from different sectors of the industry, which is really invaluable for seeing things differently and being able to develop solutions that might be a little bit out of the box. And then creating a platform for building information management. It's not all about the models. We're talking about managing this information because there is so much of it. If we were to ask design teams and contractors to classify and hand over data on thousands upon thousands of elements as there is in your models, it's a very daunting task. So we're not asking for that. We work with the client to deliver a very, very set list, specific list, refined for what it is that we want to capture, collect, and track. So we're all about managing that information and ensuring it gets continued and not lost throughout the life cycle of the project. So this is how we start off. We start off by producing our asset twin. We define the AIR based on the strategy and goals and the information requirements of our clients. Then obviously there's the traditional BIM-based workflows that we're not trying to get rid of. We're working alongside your traditional workflows, and we're pulling that together with your non-model based workflows. And we're allowing those non-model based workflows to become part of the intelligent BIM system, information management system in the project. And then we pull all that data together in the asset twin, which is not maintained in the authoring platform. So we can keep permissions and tracking of who changed that data when and why. So for model data management, so this is where one of our tools comes in. So BIM Assure on all of our projects that we're working with in this role, the designers and the contractors would have access to BIM Assure to be able to publish their models, to be able to check their data. And then we can report out on that data, or they can report out on that data depending on the particular workflow in each project. But the benefit of BIM Assure, my favourite thing about it, is that it allows non-modelers, we're in a bit of a skills shortage in the construction industry at the minute. Not everybody needs to know Revit, as controversial as that might be. The people who know the information can input the data into the platform. It doesn't have to be your Revit modeler. So you're taking that time back. You're allowing your modelers to spend time modelling where they can add the most value, and you're allowing the people who may, for example, normally input data on a door schedule in Excel. You can input that, you can create a door slice in BIM Assure and then input that information there. So it just allows a broadening of your BIM team. So once that's there, it can be validated, it can be checked against what it is that the client wanted, or the client getting what they wanted, because at the end of the day, that's the deliverable. And then that connects downstream to model content can be classified. We've BIM Classify as well. And the benefits of that are obviously estimating, procurement, handover, project scheduling. I could go on. The various stages that we would collect and assess data is as per you can see. So the first stage being design data, which is collected in 2 phases. Initial design data and then design performance data. Design data being the what is it, where is it. Design performance data is what was the design inlet water temperature for this asset, what was the design outlet water temperature. Construction data, so this is not necessarily again collected in the model, this is generally collected on the platform or through your typical Excel spreadsheets. If you've got a schedule of equipment, if the data can already be pulled out of that, it doesn't need to go anywhere near a model, then great, we'll get that in to the asset information model. And then again, the commissioning data. So generally what we would do on this is we would work with the contractors to get their typical commissioning data forms, digitise them, and get them to use our digitalised version. And that data is then sucked into the platform, but can also be used by the contractor as they would typically do so. It just allows it to be tracked going forward. So on the platform, So we've got multiple data sources, so we can pull the data in from various locations, as I said, and that can be custom data models. The files are accessible and intelligent, or using intelligence, so we're trying to pull as much information out of the documents without having to have humans go and read them, so using OCR and different tools like that. And transforming data across the system. So that data was captured initially for this use, but how can we manipulate that to give us value elsewhere? Again, like I said previously, the roles and permissions, so that you can see who did what and where and why. Allowing people only access to the bits that they need to see, it just removes the cloud of information. We can create custom workflows and build apps specifically on top of the system to suit the client. And like I said, that can all be tied together on the platform. And I've almost made it on time, so thank you.